Well, it happened, boys and girls. Got my 2026 Low Rider S. 60 miles on it, brand spanking new. So I went up to Mancuso Harley-Davidson here in Houston and started looking at a 2025 used Iron Horse Metallic. It was gorgeous. And went on the test drive, and I wanted to test drive that one and the Low Rider ST, but so they pulled both of them out and let me ride both. So I rode the S first, went and traded it down the road, and the sales guy was riding the S, and we got almost back to the dealership and freaking smoke started pouring out of it. So much smoke was coming out of that bike that I couldn't even see him in front of me. It got just white smoke billowing out. So I was like, well, obviously I'm not getting that bike. So they pointed me to, that was an Iron Horse with black trim. They pointed me to a white one, but it was chrome, and I didn't want chrome, I wanted black. So we kind of haggled back and forth. Then they came back, well, what about a new one? And I said, well, what can you do? So we worked on price and all that before they finally said, what if we take the white 10s off the used one, put them on a brand new bike? And I said, yeah, let's do that. Work with me on that. So they did. And I kept kind of haggling with them a little bit. And finally, and the used one had an S&S pipe. He goes, I'll even throw the pipe in. I was like, deal. So here we are. There's a couple of things I'm going to change, obviously, are the fairing. Put an ST fairing on it. Why didn't I go with an ST to begin with? Well, there's like a $6,000 difference between an S and an ST. When I can go to Advan Black or Hogworks and get an ST fairing for $1,300. So that's what I'm going to do, and slowly start changing things to make this my own bike. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm happy. I'm happy with the price that I got, and I'm happy to be finally part of the Harley-Davidson Club. Still getting used to riding this bike mid-controls. Of course, my Vegas has forward controls, as it's, I guess, considered a touring bike, right into the sun. So forward controls is something else I'm going to do to this bike and see how much I like it, because mid controls just a little too tight for me. I'm not super tall, like 5'10", but I feel a little uncomfortable. Possible risers and bars and all that stuff, because make it a little more comfortable to ride, you know. Still got a bunch of victory videos, so you might see some of those things on the TikToks or the Instagrams and whatnot. You know, gotta go through the old footage. I got a shit ton of it. But we're gonna get some more good stuff, new stuff on this. And of course, as we upgrade and change things on this bike, we'll bring you guys along. Something about this clutch lever feels really far away. So I'm having to like stretch out, and my hands getting a little hurt. I can hit it with 2 fingers, but man, it's really stretched to try and get to that freaking clutch. All of this will be figured out. I'm excited about it. Are you? A couple of things I am excited about, and they're things that most people are kind of used to, I guess. My Vegas was a 2006, so 20 years old literally this year. This bike, as you can see on the tach or on the Speedo, well, one, it has a Speedo. Mine, it has it, but it's completely covered up by the bag and all that stuff, and I just can't see what speed I'm going. But so this has the analog Speedo, it has the RPMs there, it has a fuel gauge, which my bike, my Vegas, doesn't have a fuel gauge. It does have what gear I'm in, which I just had to remember on the Vegas. And a very big one that I'm very happy about is cruise control. No cruise control on 2006. This guy gonna stay? Okay. So when we're out riding for hours, everybody's using their cruise. And if you're familiar with my channel and all that, you know I've had surgery on my arms. I wrecked my bike, broke both my arms. So my right arm, got a bunch of pins and plates and stuff in it. And after a while, my elbow gets a little worn out. So cruise control is going to help a lot on releasing some of that tension and whatnot. And I have to be chill on the throttle on this one because of the throttle by wire. It's a lot more touchy, a lot more sensitive than my bike, which was throttle by cable. And it's super easy to shift. Much easier to shift. I feel like on the Vegas I have to slam it into gear, you know. Not this one. Slides into gear perfect. So the list of things I want to change on the bike or upgrade or things like that is, of course, the fairing, the front forward controls. I got a seat coming. It's not a fancy seat. I didn't pay $700 for a seat. Got a $200 seat on Amazon in the similar step-up fashion and all that, because I feel like I'm getting yanked off this bike a little bit. So we'll see how that works out. I'm going to put bags on it, but I'm going to put touring bags on it from Hogworks. I like the touring bags on the soft tail. It looks really nice to me. And again, the difference between a S and an ST was like $6,000. So I can do all of this for $4,000 and get the same experience or better. I gotta get used to the friction zone, the brakes, throttle response, all stuff on this new bike. Especially the mid controls until I can get forward controls. But I gotta put miles on it. Gotta get to that 1K so they can remove the brake-in stuff, but I also got to get used to the mid-controls until the forwards come in. I'm not just going to sit around and wait. just bought this honky. I want to ride it. What are you guys naming your bikes? Do y'all guys name your bikes, or is that gay? I called my Vegas Black Pearl. It was literally all black. I told my wife I should name this one Whitey. She said that might be racist. Now you guys can see how fast I go, and right now I'm only going 50. I mean, there's cars and all that in the way, but when I was test driving this, not this one, but the S, I was worried about the wind hitting against me and not making the ride as comfortable or whatever, but it's actually not that bad. That little fairing there does a pretty decent job. We got up to 80, I think, on the freeway in the test drive, and it wasn't terrible. I did have to shut the visor on my helmet, but I mean, that's why it's there. So, but I do like riding with it open because of the wind and the coolness. It's hot as 7 hells here in Houston at any given time, so it's nice to have it open. Gets up there quick and gets awfully windy pretty quickly. I definitely feel the downforce on my helmet as we're going, or as we get up to speed, which is to be expected, but it's not terrible, and that's all that matters. Once I get the SD fairing and like the Clockworks windshield on it, that curved windshield, that'll make a big difference, I think. So it seems to be about 60 miles an hour before I gotta put my visor down, because it's really, one, it puts a lot of wind noise through my helmet, but it also catches my visor while it's up and starts jerking my head around, and that's not the kind of head I want jerking around, you know what I'm saying? You get it. Cruise control is nice. I can let go with my right hand, let it rest a little bit from the pins and plates in my elbow so they don't hurt. Cruise control is nice. Cruising 55 back here on these back roads. It's definitely, even at 55, it's definitely nice to have the cruise. And if I get a little close, I can just roll up on the throttle and it cancels that cruise control. And I was gonna pass, but now we're double yellow and I don't want to die. My wife would be pissed. There we go. Thank you, buddy. See you later. Dang, a lot of wind. Maybe I was mistaken. Maybe it's 70. Woo! Something else I gotta work on is grabbing these handlebars too tight. I feel like it's gonna push me off. So I've got a grip on these damn handlebars when I really don't need to. The bump coming up right here. Once I get that bearing and I get the seat with the step up, that's gonna make me feel like a little more in the seat and in the bike than rather than just on it, you know. So I'm incredibly excited about this motorcycle, especially just the newness. Warranty, having a bike with a warranty is going to be huge. But it's mine. Nobody's had this bike before. It's my bike, you know. My Vegas went through a bunch of people in my family, and before that, I'm not sure. But having a new bike with all the bells and whistles, plus the customization. You can customize a Harley 10 ways from Sunday, make it your own. Can't do that on a Vegas that's 20 years old. Parts aren't made for that thing anymore. Not specific parts. You can get universal parts, I guess. But not specific parts, especially when something breaks down and you got to try to fix it. I didn't go to the parts store. I went to Facebook Marketplace to find bits and bobs and just replacement stuff for it. Kind of a pain. Not no mo. Advan Black, Hogworks, Dominator, Thrash and Supply, Harley-Davidson, I guess, if I want to pay a fortune for something. I'm excited. And I don't really ride at night too much. It's not quite nighttime, but we're about to stop up here. And by the time we get back, it will be dark. Okay, look at the car. What are we doing? Oh, we're stopping. We're slowing down. Everybody's stopping. Get out of the way. Well, needless to say, I am extremely excited about this new 2026 Low Rider S. I'm excited to customize it the way I wanted to. I'm happy with everything that happened so far with just getting it and the color, pipe, and all that stuff. I've got a slew of parts that I've got on order, and I'm going to bring you guys along with me. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. All those links will be down in the description, guys, and we will see you